They say you are in control of your life, but you're not. Not fully. Not completely. Because someone or something has already been controlling you. Not with chains. Not with threats. Not with force. But with psychology. With emotion. With subtle tactics that shape the choices you think you're making freely. This is the 7 manipulation tactics you don't realize are controlling your life, a guide to the invisible hands shaping your decisions, your beliefs, and your identity, without your awareness. And once you see them, you can never unsee them again. Let's begin. The first tactic, the illusion of choice. Most people think freedom means choosing between A and B, but true freedom is choosing the options that were never offered. Manipulators know this, so they don't take your freedom away. They shrink it, quietly, strategically, effortlessly. They give you fake options that keep you trapped inside a box they designed, a box you didn't notice, because you were too busy choosing colors, shapes, flavors, timelines. And the illusion works because it feels like independence. You think, I'm making the decision. But the truth is, you're choosing from the decisions they allowed. Think about it. Your job? You were told the options were traditional career or struggle. Your relationships? You were taught to choose between compatibility or loneliness. Your beliefs? You were trained to pick from this side or that one. But real power begins when you ask the forbidden questions. What's outside these choices? Who created these options? Why only these? When you stop accepting the choices they hand you, you become dangerous. Because manipulators cannot control someone who creates their own path. The second tactic, fear-based framing. Fear is the oldest form of control, not because it's loud, but because it's logical. Your brain remembers fear faster than any other emotion. It imprints, it stays. It guides your behavior long after the threat is gone. So manipulation doesn't need a monster. It only needs a suggestion, a whisper, a warning. Be careful. Don't take risks. You'll lose everything. What will people think? Fear-based framing works because it teaches you that comfort is safety, risk is danger, uncertainty is death. And once you believe that, you cage yourself. You become your own guard dog, your own captor. You no longer need to be controlled. You control yourself. Opportunities appear risky. Dreams feel unrealistic. Desires feel threatening. Fear turns your potential into a prison. But the moment you question the fear, the wall collapses. When fear no longer dictates your behavior, manipulators lose their greatest weapon. The third tactic, emotional baiting. No one manipulates your logic first. They manipulate your feelings. Because if they can control how you feel, they can control what you do. Emotional baiting works like this. Step 1. They provoke a feeling. Step 2. They offer the solution. Step 3. You think the solution was your idea. The bait might be guilt, or envy, or admiration, or shame, or fear, or desire. Manipulators shape your emotional state until their goal becomes your impulse. It is subtle, invisible, addictive. They make you want to impress them, or defend yourself, or chase their approval, or prove something. And once your emotions are hooked, your actions are predictable. This is why the strongest people are not those who feel nothing, but those who understand what they feel. And why? Because emotional awareness is emotional immunity. And once your emotions stop obeying others, your mind becomes yours again. The fourth tactic, social compliance pressure. Humans fear isolation more than they fear mistakes. It's ancient, it's biological, it's survival. Manipulators know this, so they don't need to convince you directly. They convince the group, and the group convinces you. They create a norm, a standard, a trend, a belief, a narrative, and you feel the pressure to fit into it. Not because you agree, but because standing alone feels dangerous. This is how society manipulates you without speaking to you. This is how communities shape you without touching you. This is how strangers influence you without knowing you. You conform without realizing you're conforming. You comply without realizing you're complying. But the moment you withstand the pressure, the moment you choose integrity over approval, you break the spell. Because the person who does not fear standing alone cannot be controlled. The fifth tactic: reciprocity exploitation. Humans are wired to repay kindness, to return favors, to maintain balance. That instinct is noble, but manipulators weaponize it. They give to take, they help to trap, they offer to own. A favor becomes leverage, a gift becomes obligation, a compliment becomes a contract, and soon you find yourself doing things you never intended because you feel like you owe them. You don't. Not when the kindness was strategic. Not when the generosity was bait. The antidote is simple. Learn to separate intention from action, kindness from control, support from strings. Not everyone who helps you is helping you. Some people are buying you. The sixth tactic: identity shaping. The most dangerous manipulation is not what they do to you, but who they convince you to be. Identity shaping works slowly, quietly, repeatedly. You're the responsible one. You're the emotional one. You're the strong one. You're the weak one. You're the quiet one. You're the difficult one. You're the smart one. You're the one who will never make it. These labels become cages, and you live inside them, even when the door is open. Manipulators do not need to control your actions, and if they can control your identity, because once you believe something about yourself, you protect it, defend it, live by it. True power comes from rewriting your identity, by asking the question, who told me this and why did I believe them? Break the identity, and you break the manipulation. The seventh tactic: distraction and overstimulation, the most modern, the most widespread, the most devastating tactics of all. It is the manipulation of attention. Because if someone can control where your attention goes, they control your behavior, your beliefs, your purchases, your habits, your time, your life. Distraction is the new chains. Overstimulation is the new prison. Your attention is constantly pulled, nudged, redirected, fragmented, notifications, endless scrolling, infinite feeds, cheap dopamine, constant noise, not to entertain you, but to exhaust you, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. A tired mind is a vulnerable mind. An overstimulated mind is an obedient mind. A distracted mind is a controllable mind. The moment you reclaim your focus, you reclaim your freedom. You become someone who cannot be misled, someone who cannot be bought, someone who cannot be manipulated, because clarity is the enemy of manipulation. And once your mind becomes clear, their power dissolves. The world does not control you with force. It controls you with psychology, quietly, subtly, masterfully. But awareness destroys manipulation. Recognition destroys control. Understanding destroys the invisible chains. The moment you see the tactics, you stop being a target and start becoming a threat. This is your awakening, your shift, your emergence. Now you know you are not powerless, you were simply unaware. But you're aware now, and that changes everything.